Now, I'm not someone who's, scared of a good joke. And I can understand why a lot of people would make these comments about the fact that, yes, every day is really International Men's Day, and, men do hold a position of power in this world. However, I do believe there are male-specific issues that we must consider, mostly because it doesn't matter who you are, there are going to be men in your life. There are going to be, if not your father or your brothers or your friends, there are going to be men in your life who are suffering from male-specific issues that would affect you too as someone who cares about them. Things like prostate cancer, things like the high suicide rates we're seeing now, things like what it means to feel like you have to be masculine in today's society. And I think if you care about International Women's Day and you see all the gender-specific issues over there, you should also be able to appreciate the fact that in order to have a more egalitarian world, we need to also consider this day.
Gracie, I would actually love to hear
Literally
what you have to say on this.
Everyone's glasses just got...
No, because honestly, I feel like you and I are going to have very similar opinions.
I think she's going to be on my side on this.
I think that the day exists now, so let's use it productively. I think, okay, so now there's an International Men's Day. Let's use it as an opportunity to talk about toxic masculinity. Let's use it as an opportunity to talk about things like mental health and men's health and these things. Would I have brought it to fruition myself? I don't think necessarily, as somebody who has experienced a lot of like sexual violence in my life, and as somebody who has, men haven't necessarily treated me great. I don't know that I think that I think it was Michael from the show that tweeted out that said,
Don't you read it out for real?
Do you have it?
I absolutely
Bring it on.
do.
You actually have
Oh,
Michael's
man.
tweet? Let's hear
Our
it.
boy Michael says, anyone who thinks that we
Yeah.
don't need International Men's Day is a part of the problem. Why the same issues keep reoccurring? Yes, every day is a man's day, but let's really talk about how toxic being a man really is.
Do you think
Hashtag
that's
my side.
how? I don't know that I necessarily think that's how the day. I don't know that that's necessarily how it's being used. If it is being used that way, then great.
First
but
off,
I don't know.
there are this men's. First of all, we've neglected to mention one thing is that you have to have 2 days, because what about people going from one gender to the other, or on some spectrum of gender, transgender men? We got to think about that. Number 2, I just learned.
When you say that having 2 days is creating just more of a binary, what?
No,
I think
what
the
I
whole
mean
thing
just-
of having a day for femme people.
As long as issues exist, having a day is good. I just learned this International Men's Day that suicide rates for men are up to 3 times as high as they are for women. That suicide, and just because that I think that suicide rates for men need to come down doesn't mean that I don't think they need to come down for women. My point is this. If you support International Men's Day, you should not feel guilty, and that it does not mean that you support International Women's Day any less. They completely go hand in hand, and there are separate issues that affect both. I completely see the point about men being in a position of power. I completely see that. But at the same time, there are conversations that need to be had about prostate cancer and about the suicide thing and about masculinity, which can be bad. We need to have these conversations, and I think this is a good way to do it.
Okay, hold on. Let me get on this prostate cancer thing, because you're like, we need to talk about prostate cancer. We have Movember. We have a whole month for that. I know. I feel like, as a woman, I feel like men have been entitled to so much power over the last couple of thousand years that I appreciate the fact that there are issues that are specifically for men, and that you guys do have to deal with. And I agree that mental health is something that should be dealt with by men for whatever issues they have, and it's different for women. But what I do not think is okay is I do not think raising someone who is already on a raised platform even higher by giving them a day. I cannot. I can't agree with you.
I don't think it raises them higher by giving them a day.
I think it does.
I don't think it does.
Listen to me, Christian.
Go ahead.
For 1 second, okay? My thing is women have really regularly, and for the last couple thousand years, have been held down and have not had a voice and have not been able to go out there and speak their mind and do these kind of things. So we have a Women's Day for that. I don't think Men's Day will be used appropriately, and it will only be able to further this patriarchal argument.